we will be back, I believe, no later than January 31st. This is frustrating, so I just want to start there. There's nothing that hurts me more, honestly, personally and professionally, than not seeing students in school. As we were approaching the return after winter break, the return was Monday, January 3rd. It was very clear based on the city's infection rate, the 7-day infection rate, so the average of 7 days, that we were at an all-time high. We were above 40%. And so just so everyone on the call, that means for those that are testing in the city of Detroit, almost every other person that was testing was positive. Right. And so it meant that this new variant, not as severe medically, depending on your health conditions, whether you're vaccinated, et cetera, but much more contagious. And we had a lot of sick people, globally, nationally, statewide, but especially in the city. And we voluntarily allowed employees to start to test the week before the return, just as a courtesy and to start to gauge what our district infection rate looked like. And we were at like 15 to 20% of our employees and even the students that voluntarily tested. So ultimately, the decision was made to suspend in-person learning, one, because of the high infection rate and the likelihood that opening schools would have just spread that. Even though we're masking and testing, it was inevitable. The other factor was that it was going to be very hard to staff schools. And that has nothing to do with vacancies. It all has to do with people being sick or having a quarantine if they came in and other people were sick after they came in. And this is what we're seeing play out in large urban school districts that tried to open. Las Vegas just announced that they're going to shut down. There's multiple large urban school districts throughout the country that initially tried to open and now they're going online. And there are a lot of Metro Detroit school districts that did open that are struggling right now with like half of their teachers out right now because of COVID or quarantining. So big picture, large spread if we opened, and staff shortages and a lot of student absences. So I think ultimately we made a hard but right decision not to open and to move online. We tested all our employees. 1,000 employees and contractors that work in our schools tested positive. So that would have meant depending on if people tested or not, they would have come to work, spread the virus. 15% of our students, about 3% that tested were positive. So hard decision, but I think we made the right decision. We gave out laptops last Thursday, Friday, Monday, and Tuesday. We started online learning last Thursday, had a low attendance rate of about 58%, went up a little bit more on that Friday at 61%. By memory, on Monday, we were at 70%, then 74% Tuesday, and then Wednesday, yesterday, we were at 76%. So we are seeing more families logging in, students logging in, which is exactly what we want to see. We're giving lunch and breakfast out at every school. So every school throughout DPSCD is giving out lunch, breakfast and lunch on Mondays and Thursdays. It's grab and go. So it's pre-packaged meal, pre-cooked meals where you pick it up on Monday and Thursdays, anywhere from 9 to 1, and you'll have meals from Monday through Wednesday, and then Thursday over the weekend until the following Monday. That'll continue as long as we're online. We're monitoring the infection rate at the city. So right now, we're slightly down. We're at 33% based on the numbers that we looked at this morning. Optimistically, the latest number was, I think, in the low 20s. So we're looking to get anywhere between 10% and 20% as a 7-day infection rate. And I think at that number, we can come back. Just want to remind everyone, we do test every week. It's a saliva test. It takes a couple seconds. It's not the nasal test. The saliva is only used to test for COVID. We don't use it for DNA runs or any experiments or anything like that. Right now, we have 73% of our students who have submitted a consent form to test. We can't force testing. We have to get the consent from the family because it's saliva. This is the best way to keep your child safe and in school, stop the spread of COVID, and protect our employees and make our employees feel comfortable and safe coming to work as well, considering we have such a low vaccination rate in the city. Fortunately, the state of Michigan and the city's health department has allowed us to have direct access to the vaccine now. So we are going to be able to offer vaccines in schools in DPSCD. We're still working out the details, but we'll start at least one school in every feeder pattern. And when I say feeder pattern, I'm talking about the historical high school. So Northwestern, Central, Western, East English Village, Cody, Henry Ford, there are about 15. So every feeder pattern will have one school at the beginning that has the vaccine. We'll give that out during the day, a little bit after school. And then we hope to expand that throughout the spring and the summer so we can have greater rates of vaccination as we move in the fall. We now have an employee vaccine requirement. Over 80% of our employees are vaccinated. About 90% of our teachers are vaccinated. And we are contemplating a student vaccine mandate for the fall. So in order to possibly go in person in the fall, you would have to be vaccinated. We're still looking through the pros and cons of that, but we know ultimately the best way to keep students in school is a higher vaccination rate, and that protects the students, employees, and families as well. And we'll be providing more information and more panel discussions and just more engagement in educational sessions so families can better understand the benefit of vaccination. We will be back, I believe, no later than January 31st.
You can find more at onedetroitpbs.org or subscribe to our social media channels and sign up for our One Detroit newsletter.